Lillian Nabasirye is my name. I'm taking a moment to use my eyes to communicate, because that's what we went through when we discussed the whole package of communication. Communication is not so much the words you say. It is what accompanies and what is the subject that you're trying to communicate. I went through coaching with Success Africa with Ethan as the coach who led me through effective communication, especially for the business executives. And with my work within the project, I was working with a consortium of 5 members. In such a consortium, the conflict is part and parcel of the day-to-day dealings on how to move forward, because you 5 consortium members, everybody has a component they're bringing on table, everybody has a philosophy they're thinking about. And many times conflict is going to emerge. I opted to take the effective communication coaching sessions with Ethan so that I could be able to navigate the dynamics that come on table, the interests of the different players, but also at the same time maintaining the focus of what I needed to do. And in this effective communication, it came through very clearly that it is not It even matters which position you take on the table. It matters the eye contact. It matters understanding the people's and what is in it for them, so that you can come from their end and bring them closer to where you want to be. We did discuss conflict. And conflict happens not only in the workplace, but even in the homes. Imagine it's about your spouse. There are things you kind of disagree. But then it's not the conflict. It's about how you communicate around that conflict, that then you build a common direction to the next point of how do we coexist. So I applied my communication skills, coaching knowledge in the consortium dynamics, managing the different players, and also ensuring a balanced information flow between myself, my manager in the project, but also my employer who was part of the consortium. One thing I would say, when you're going into this communication coaching thing and you're looking at it from I speak, I do, conflict is very easy. You either go my way or the highway. Remember, the world is round like a square. There are points of contact. One person you've been with on the negotiation table, today might be the donor for a project you badly want tomorrow. Let's invest in this so that we only have the tactics on how to discuss a conflict situation, on how to communicate effectively in a multi-stakeholder platform, on how to leave the individual feeling valued, and yet the issue at hand is discussed exhaustively with dignity and with principle on the table. That's what I got when I did the effective communication and business executive training and coaching with Ethan. How did we deliver this? This was a practical one. We had to speak over, we had to discuss, we had to revisit those moments when we were in conflict. This was more experiential and practice-based. And what better than when you have a safe space of someone who is not your employer, who is not your spouse, who is not, but everything, a professional helping you to get better in your job. So it was open space. We confronted conflict situations, but we also visited those situations that made us feel better. And for me, what I benefited from that is that not only my confidence raised, but I was also able to choose the right words. And I just want to share with you one experience. I was sitting at one of the farewell discussions with my colleagues, and then he said, "There is the way you say it. It is not good news, but I want to take it." And that was really exciting on my inside. I said, okay, I'm able to discuss difficult subjects, but retain the principle of that, and the person doesn't get offended, but they understand the issue that I want to communicate across, and they act on it without offending them. That helps us to move forward. By being an effective communicator, it doesn't mean you don't confront difficult subjects. It only means that you have the skill and the step-by-step application on how to navigate this very difficult subject. I could share endlessly all these many things that we've done around the effective communication. And I have to also confess that sometimes you're in conflict with yourself and you need to discover yourself. Those are things that you sit with Ethan and you do the self-baseline and you say, how do I move forward from this point to where I need to be? Again, how was it delivered? I've already told you it was experiential, it was hands-on, it was practical, and also we did watch some videos here and there that he has produced in the past to be able to benchmark and see the concepts and practice them. And then we come back and report back and discuss what is working and what has not worked. I just want to say to anybody thinking about this particular module, You must apply yourself in it before you even start engaging Ethan Musolini on this particular part. For if you do not invest the time required to practice what you learn, it will end up not really taking root. So whatever you discuss, you go, you practice it in your workplace, in your home, with your spouse, with your friends, and that's how it raises you to a level people say, please say something, because they see you can deliver the message adequately. That's when you start to get people to come to you and discuss difficult subjects. That's where you resign and the employer says, I wish I could have you a little more, a little longer, because you have now come out as a stronger person, not as a weakling. Let us speak about the cost of doing this particular coaching. Gold comes out of very high fire. So what you turn out after the training, you are really seasoned. So that seasoning definitely has come to a price. So think about it as an investment rather than a cost. For you will still spend the money you think you're saving, but you may not be growing your abilities, especially in the workplace or in your areas of influence. For someone who is already at a certain level of management, the decision to go into coaching on communication can be met with mixed feelings. You already feel it's through communication that I was able to articulate myself and get to this level. I just want us to remember that we are looking for self-improvement, you're looking for self-growth and coming above the level you're at. For instance, when I enrolled for the coaching sessions with Ethan Musolini, I was looking, and for me, the dilemma to decide whether I enroll or not, I felt I was already good where I was. Guess what? When I enrolled, I discovered the blind spots in my communication mechanisms. We covered persuasion. That was very beautiful. You sometimes think that you're just going to get someone to come to where you're thinking. He will give you the tact, the step-by-step of at what point do we converge, allow yourself to listen to them, and then how you bring them back to the direction where you want. I could speak through what the module contained, but I just want to help you appreciate that for me, it was very beneficial. For me, it helped me to be able to get the members. You see, in a consortium, you're working with different players, to get them to a common vision around a technical solution. Imagine these are technical facts, but to explain it in different language and choice of words for everybody that we together come and coalesce about the approach and direction we are going to take. That's what I gained out of it. It didn't make me any less of my technical specialty. It only gave me tact and style, which I applied. And guess what? We are counting results from the project as I speak today. So I encourage you to overcome your barriers. Sometimes you ask yourself, really, this money, I put it in just going to talk to someone? That someone is a professional. Ethan Musolini is a professional standing on the other side, helping you to align your technical professional skills with how society receives them. And here society can be your team, it can be policymakers, it can be the other consortium members, it can be anyone that you're working with. So, in terms of enrolling, it takes not only the money, but also your desire, and then you acting on what you agree upon in the different sessions.